Hi friends, I'm Mayla and I'm back in the garden again today. This is Saturday, the Saturday before Easter, and I am out in my garden trying to get a few things done, a little bit by little bit, day by day, and we are going to finish this garden. I promise you guys, this summer we are going to finish. But I am going to use this opportunity to just take some time this morning to get some plants potted up, and some that are already potted, they have the soil level has lowered. I need to lift those up and add some more soil to those pots. And then we have like a small tiny bed that I want to there's like a lot of weeds right there. I have 2 pots sitting on it right now, but I want to remove the pots, put down some cardboard, and then we're going to either put some rocks down or put some mulch down and then put the pots back. We're not going to plant anything in this little tiny section, but I wanted the area underneath the pots that I have sitting on it to look nice. So we're going to knock these out of the box today, and then later on today I'm gonna head out to my parents' house to get a few things done, but that'll be in another video. All right, let me set you guys up and show you what we're gonna do today. So first I have a bunch of pots and I'm a little late getting started because I had to go to the store and get some more potting soil. All of those is going to my parents' house. But I have some geraniums. These are it just says seed geranium by Lowe's. And so you see that's like the little hot pink. I have 2 of those. And then I purchased these 2 the other day. And they are the ones that are like white with a little pink around the edge. I have 2 of those. And then so I said, when I was thinking about what I was going to put in each pot, I know I want to pot that little trio up, but I didn't have 3 of the same thing. So I went back today and they had some geraniums on the clearance rack, but you couldn't tell what color they are because, you know, they don't look too good. So I got one, and it says seed geranium. It has the same leaf color. So I'm just going to put this in with the one with the white with the hot pink around the edges, and we'll see what that mystery geranium is once they start to bloom again. So we're going to put those 3 in that. Then I'm going to put those 2 in this planter that I had a nandina in, a lemon lime nandina in, and it died last summer. I had 2 of them and 1 of them died. And then for this planter that sits on top of that stand, and it normally stays over here in this corner where there's a lot of shade, where I put my bird of paradise tree, which still have to get another one of those. But those 2 pots live in this little alcove right beside my door. So what we're gonna do is I went and bought a Coleus, and we're gonna, since Coleus like the shade, we're gonna put this in here, and that'll grow really big for that pot. So let's get set up. So we're just going to reuse the soil that's in here, and then we're going to replenish it. I'm gonna put a little bit of take the old roots out of here, and then I am going to put in some compost and fertilizer. It's still good soil. It was brand new last year. removing some of the old soil. And then I'm gonna put some compost and new soil on top. And this is the Kong series Coleus. It is for shade, only 1 to 3 hours of morning sun, and it is beautiful. It has this deep wine flower with the lime green around the ends. And really, it's 2 plants in here, but we'll leave it all in one. I'm gonna put in a little bit of Biotone starter fertilizer. Put that on everything. And then also I'm gonna mix in a little bit of plant tone. It's by Espoma also. The bag is too big. I did not feel like picking it up, so I just put a little bit in this saucer, plant saucer. But this is called the plant tone, Espoma plant tone. Gonna do something a little different to this. So last weekend my sister and my mom and I, we all went to a plant sale at this place called the Lichterman Nature Center that they had last weekend, and I purchased a Coleus and it was the lady marked it down to like $2, and she was like, it's not broken, it's just leaning a little bit, all you got to do is stake it up, it's fine. And when I got home, it just completely, I noticed that it wasn't gonna stand by itself. So I cut off some of the stems and I put them in a cup of water. And since then, some of these smaller leaves have started to grow. So what I'm gonna do is cut off these crispy ones on the top, and I'm just gonna stick, I have 3. I have 3 stems. I'm just gonna stick them down in the soil and see what happens. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then oh well. So that is that. We're gonna water it in all at the end once we're done with everything. Move that one out the way. Now we can work on the hot pink geraniums. off with some compost like I always do. Add a little bit more plant tone to the top. And now my pine bark nuggets. And so this, what we're going to try to do with these is, geranium is an annual, but many people have had success with overwintering them. And what they do is they either just take the whole pot inside in the home, or they dig them up and put them in either a cardboard box or a plastic bag. I mean, not a plastic, a paper bag, and staple it up or fold it up nice, and put it either in a basement or in a garage. And so we are going to try to do that and try to turn these annuals into a perennial. Because there is nothing, I'm sure you guys will see, I have a garden full of perennials and evergreen. I do not like spending money on annuals. I feel like it's a waste of money. Although you get to enjoy the flowers for the season, I just don't like spending the money every year. So that's why I have a lot of perennials. And if I do buy a few annuals, it'll just be for like one pot or something. So we'll see if we can overwinter all of these geraniums and have some success like other people have had. That is this one. We're done with this. We can move on to this one. Now I have to clean this off. I'm going to hose it down with water, with the water hose, and because it's been laying in the grass back in the backyard. Each one of these, they don't have holes in the bottom, so I'm going to get my drill out and we're going to drill a couple of holes in the bottom of each one of these before we get to planting. Okay, we are back. I had to pause for a minute because my husband had the drill in his car that we need to drill the holes in the bottom of here. I had another drill. I had our little small drill, but I could not find the attachments to it, and so my husband had this drill in his car. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just do like 2 holes in the bottom of each one of these. And this is a plastic. You can also drill into like a cement, but you need the proper attachment. So I just went and got my mesh that I'm going to put in the bottom of each to cover up the hole so that the soil doesn't fall out. We talked about this in a couple of videos back. I purchased this off of Amazon, and all it is a window screen replacement. And I put this in the bottom of my pots where the drainage hole is to prevent the soil from falling out, but it allows the water to drain through. So this is a big piece. I probably won't ever have to purchase any more again. So this is what I just cut. It's just like window screen, and I'm just gonna put it in the bottom of each one of these. Alright, so these are the two that I know what it is. These are the ones with the white bloom with the pink around the edges, and then this is the mystery one I just got out clearance today. So I think I'll put the mystery one in the middle and these on each side. Okay. I don't need to put any compost in with this brand new soil. It looks very rich and already moist, so we're just going to put some on the top. But I am going to put a little bit of biotone and a little bit of plant tone. Already watered this one off camera, so we're going to take those to the back and sit in their permanent spot in a little bit. I'm just going to kind of let them drain a little bit before we take them back, but we're going to head to the back and start on our next project for the day. All right guys, so this is the area we're going to be working in next. I already had the bricks laid out, but I've already moved the bricks. So this little part that's the corner of my house right there. And then, but the covered patio doesn't start to over there. So what I'm gonna do is from the corner, I'm gonna make with brick a little swoop. It's gonna go around and meet up to the beam. So it's just gonna be like a little small swoop with those brick pavers around the edge. On the inside, we're going to do a no dig method with cardboard, and then we are going to top it off with a little bit of soil and mulch. And then I'm going to, first we got to move that planter out of the way. That is my Limelight Prime hydrangea tree. We're going to move it out, and then we're going to put it back in. We're also going to put the geranium that I potted up the other day in next to it, because both of those planters match. And then around I just made this decision. Originally I was going to either put rock or just mulch down, and then I put anything down, but I have decided to put a little bit of topsoil on top of the cardboard, and then we're going to lay down some seed for a lawn alternative, which is and I'll show you what I'm going to use when we get to that. That probably won't be done today. Well, I don't know, we might have time to do it today. I'll show you what we got when we get to that part. So let's get started. Didn't need it after all. I just put my planters on bricks or something to keep it standing up so that the water can drain from the bottom. So what we're gonna do, I am going to put some the no dig black plastic edging against the back, so that the mulch that I put down doesn't fall over into the patio. and then we'll get started with the cardboard. So I'm on my cell phone now. My memory card was full on my camera, so I'm gonna have to finish out this video on my cell phone, and I don't have much storage on my cell phone, so I'm just gonna show you what I've done so far, and then I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and then I'll show you at the end. So this is what I've done so far. I layered it with cardboard, and then I put the no dig edging across the back. I could not staple it down with the stakes up towards the end of the house because the concrete footing is poured underneath there, and so it won't let me drive the stake in too far. So that's my first one there, and then I got 2 or 3 more along the length of that. I put out my brick edging, and then I'm going to put down a little bit of compost, a little bit of topsoil, and then we are just going to lift this tree up a little bit, replace some more, put in some more potting soil and compost just to lift it up, since it has, you can tell it has sunken down some. And then we're just going to move this back to here, and then move that in front of it. Let me show you what I have. I purchased this stick at my mom's house, and also some here. It came with 2 bags, but this is Scott's Dichondra. It is a lawn alternative, and also it's just kind of like a ground cover. And I watched a couple of videos on it, on how to do it. So we're going to attempt to do this today. I'm going to put a few seeds down on top of the topsoil, and sprinkle a little topsoil on top and water it really good, and see if we can get this ground cover to root. And I will post a picture, link a picture to show you what it's supposed to look like. But I ordered this off of Amazon, and it came 2 bags. It was 2 bags, and each bag is supposed to cover up to 1,500 square feet. So I'm also going to use this in between the pavers in my patio, on both of my patios as well. I have decided to do that instead of the gravel this time. So it's too much. It's starting to be a little bit too much of the hardscape with the rocks and the pavers. So I want to soften it up with that. So I will come back after I have layered the compost, the topsoil, and after I have done that, because you guys have seen me do that several times, and after I have put that back over there, and I'll show you how I sprinkle out the seeds. So I have replenished the soil in the hydrangea tree pot, gave it a little bit more fertilizer. I have to top it off with the pine bark nugget. I have laid down the compost first layer, and then the topsoil on top, and I use the Scott's Turf Builder lawn soil. And now we're going to, the direction says prep new lawn, rake area to loosen the top layer of the soil, approximately 2 inches deep. Remove any dead grass or debris, ensuring seed to soil contact. It says Apply in late spring to early summer when air temperature reach 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Use a Scotch spreader to apply. I'm just gonna sprinkle. We have one, but I don't know where it is. Then it says, so I'm just gonna sprinkle it over, and then for number 3, it says keep soil moist until seed germination. For best results, apply fertilizer while Dichondra is actively growing. Can be left unmowed or mowed to a height of 1.5 to 2 inches. Grows in partial shade, but is best in full sun. Alright, so I'm going to sprinkle the seeds all over this, and we're going to water it in, and I'll come back after that. Alright friends, so this is the end of my day. Well, not the end of my day, the end of my day gardening here. I am tired. You see I have a tan, even though it's been cloudy out here. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, but I'm gonna go inside, take a shower, change clothes, and then head to my mom's house. But that'll be on another video. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, show you what we got done today. I feel like we got done a lot. Although I did not plant anything in the ground, we still got a lot done. So I guess I'll start here. We did our no-dig method by putting down cardboard, a little bit of compost, and this time instead of mulch, I topped it off with topsoil, Scott's topsoil, and then we sprinkled, you can see the little blue little speckles, we sprinkled the Dichondra lawn alternate seeds. I probably put a little bit more than what I needed, but I just took a handful and just kind of sprinkled it around. Well, it was like 2 or 3 handfuls. We have plenty enough seeds for the rest of my project. I watered it, and so I'm just going to keep the soil moist. I'll come out here tomorrow and lightly water it, and we'll do that every day. And from videos that I have seen of other people, they start seeing germination in about 2 weeks. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can have the same luck. I replenished the soil, put a little bit of more soil and compost, and topped it off with the pine bark nuggets and my limelight prime hydrangea tree, and we just put those 2 there. Once the Dichondra lawn alternative grows, those bricks that I have those planters on, it should cover those. And then I might just go in and sprinkle a little bit of topsoil or mulch just to cover up those bricks that I have them sitting on. Let's go around to this planter. Now the wood looks tarnished and it's been sitting out in the sun. I probably will paint that, but that's not going to be this summer. I'll probably replenish the wood on that for next summer. But we cleaned up this planter. I drill holes in the bottom of each one of those plastic pots, and we put in the geraniums. And these are the ones, it's the white blooms with the pink. And remember, the middle one is the clearance plant. That's going to be a mystery color. We don't know. So the 2 ends is the same one, and then we don't know quite what that one is, but we shall see soon. And then head on over to my back patio. I did this off camera, and y'all, I know they are laid out because I pulled this one out. The soil had sunken down really low in these. And then the stems are really weak from when we had our storms a couple of weeks ago. We had so much water and so much wind that these were so wet, and so much wind that they had just like splayed out like that. They were like limp, even worse than this. They had gotten back upright, but then when I pulled it out today, it got a little bit worse. So I might go and maybe temporarily pull them all together and tie a little bit of garden tape around it to keep them up. But I replenished the soil and I put some fertilizer in that. That's my boxwood. And on the other side, the same with that. I replenished the soil, threw some fertilizer on top, and this one is a little bit more upright, but I might do the same with that. Pull it all together and just tie a little bit of that flexible garden tape around it just to hold it together until those stems kind of strengthen up and get a little bit more sun. I know my back patio looks a hot mess. I know, guys, you don't have to tell me, but I haven't done anything back here. We have not come out here. We just got our furniture covered until we are able to do this patio, and that is coming soon. So that's what I did, and now let's head around to the front yard to see what we did there. I was headed to my front yard, but I have just got to show you guys how my perennials are filling in. This is the Gara, the dark rose Gara that I planted back in the fall. I love it so much. They have them at Lowe's, 2 for $10. So I might go back, and you see the blooms on this one. And look at all of those buds. So those are so beautiful. I have 1, 2, and 3. So I think I'm gonna go back to Lowe's and get 1, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I might go back and get 4 more and kind of have like a nice little swoop. That's a sedum, that's a sedum, that's a sedum, and then that's a hydrangea back there. So I think I might come and swoop in between these sedums and go back towards the hydrangea. And that'll be 4 more. That is so pretty. That color, hot pink, and those wine stems sticking out, popping up against all this green. And then this is my Veronica that was almost dying last year. I dug it up, put it in a pot, kind of let it rehab, and then put it back in the ground in the fall. And look at it, guys. That is so pretty. I originally had 2 of these. The other one did not come back, but this one is beautiful. I just love it. And then here is some more Veronica. I'm not sure the name of this. I have to go back into my stash and see what the name, or go back and look at that video. But I ordered these offline, and so it was 4 of those. And then those are all of my coneflowers that are coming in. I don't know what happened to my ligustrums, my sunshine ligustrums. This is the 3rd year, and the first 2 years they did perfectly fine. And this one looked fine just like 2 weeks ago. This one looked like that coming out of winter, and it's significantly shorter. But I thought I could just like trim it up. This one was perfectly fine 2 weeks ago. I don't know what happened. So I might be digging those up and tossing those and putting something else. But whatever it is, it's gonna be that yellow gold color, because I have enough green and enough red here. We need to bring in the yellow. And look at my tree. Y'all, I did not get a picture or a video of it when it was blooming early spring. It was so pretty, but it's still beautiful like this. And this is its 3rd year also. So let's head to the front. This is the Coleus that I planted. And these are the ones that I purchased at the other sale and that were dying, that I had stuck into a cup with water, and I just stuck it in the soil. It did not start to root or anything. Not sure if these will survive or not, but if they don't, that's fine. But that one is absolutely beautiful, and it's gonna triple that size. So that'll be over here in the shade. Then here's the other geranium that I potted up, and those are the 2 hot pink, and it's just gonna sit right here for right now. I don't know where it's gonna go. And that's about it, guys. That's all I have for today. I probably will not record my video at my parents' house. I'm tired. I don't feel like pulling out the camera to record. I'm hot, sweaty. Like I said, I'll go in and shower, and I have a couple errands to run before I go to my parents' house. So this is it for me today. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys, getting some more gardening done, even though it was all in pots. We did do a little bit with the no dig garden and putting down the seeds for the Dichondra. And I hope that, like I said, I will again post a picture of how that's going to look when it grows in, and it's going to bring a little softness to that spot where all of the brick and the concrete and all that is, and the heavy concrete pots. I need a little softness. And so with that, I want to thank you guys for stopping by to garden with me today. I appreciate your support for this channel, whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening when you're watching this. I hope you're having a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of it. Bye, guys.